took a peek down at it, and the second line was very evident, which means for sure the pregnancy hormone has been detected, and I totally just like collapsed into a pile on the floor in tears. I am a planner, and that was not part of the plan. Obviously Anthony was there and he was like, "Why are you crying? We're gonna have a baby, you love babies." Like, yeah, I love other people's babies, sure, but I don't think that I was fully ready to embrace the concept of having my own quite yet. But I did, and now I have them, and they're the best. We had very active social lives. We were always out to dinner, always at bars and restaurants, and traveling all over the place. I worked in fashion. When you're 25, you kind of feel like you're 17 still. You know, I knew I was like, I am not a responsible adult. Like, I cannot do this, but you become a responsible adult really quickly. Bo, where are you? Because I didn't have the typical reaction to, you know, the 2 little pink lines appearing on a pregnancy test. Most people they greet that with joy and bliss and, oh, it's everything I ever wanted and I'd been trying so hard for this. I kind of was the opposite. I felt like, well, now I'm gonna be a bad mom because I'm not excited about this, so I'm off to a terrible start. It kind of like, you know, those first couple weeks when I sat and I thought back to my initial reaction, I was like, oh, I can't believe I was so hard on myself. Because I was. It was months that I felt guilty, and I thought that it would have some kind of influence on the kind of mom I would become, but it was a very pleasant surprise to discover that it did have no bearing at all, and I ended up actually loving the role that I was given. I actually ended up having an amazing pregnancy, and I had an amazing newborn who was so easy to bond with. I think it happened. I think that I felt emotionally ready during my pregnancy, but not until closer to the end. The beginning was really chaotic. We ended up having to move in with my in-laws for a few months when we were in between the condo and this house. While I was living there, I could start to feel the baby move. And I think that's when it really became real. As a mom, and when you feel your child moving in you, you really understand, okay, there's a human who is relying on me for everything, for food, for warmth, for comfort. It knows my voice. When these things start to really register, then you really start to think, okay, this is happening. I'm doing this. I can do this. I think that when I look at my kids, I feel like I've come so far from where I was. I think having kids is realistically probably exactly what I needed in my life. I think I was at a stage in my life that I needed to kind of grow up. And nothing but good has happened after. Like, I found inspiration to write again. My biggest piece of advice would definitely be to not be ashamed of any ounce of your story, because, you know, we're all different. Of course, all of our journeys are going to be different. It's completely reasonable to be afraid or nervous, and it's completely possible for that fear and those nerves to morph into something completely different. That turns into excitement, it turns into joy.